Title: The Last Guest. Ethan never liked parties. Something about being surrounded by strangers, forced small talk, and the pressure to be social always made him uncomfortable. But when his old friend Lucas sent him an invitation to an exclusive mansion gathering, curiosity got the best of him. The invitation was simple: one night, one game, one winner. Ethan hesitated before accepting, but Lucas was persuasive. It's just for fun. A murder mystery game. Everyone gets a role, and we all play along. You'll love it. Arrival at the mansion. The night of the party, Ethan pulled up to the grand estate, its towering black gates creaking open as his car approached. The mansion loomed in the dim moonlight, its windows glowing like watching eyes. He stepped out, adjusting his jacket, and made his way to the front doors. As he entered, a butler in a crisp suit took his coat. Inside, the mansion was lavish. Chandeliers dangled from the ceiling, velvet curtains framed large windows, and a long dining table was set with golden plates and silver goblets. Other guests were already mingling, some sipping wine, others murmuring in small groups. Ethan didn't recognize anyone except Lucas, who greeted him with a sly grin. "Glad you made it. Let's get started. The game begins." The host, a mysterious man in a sleek black suit, clapped his hands. "Welcome, everyone. Tonight, we play a game. Each of you will receive a card with your role. One of you is the killer. Another is the detective. The rest, well, you'll just have to survive." Ethan took his card and flipped it over. Detective, his job? Solve the mystery before the night was over. Laughter filled the room as people opened their envelopes. Some groaned at their mundane roles, while others grinned mischievously. The mood was light-hearted, at least, for now. Then, the lights flickered. A scream echoed through the halls. When the lights came back on, a woman was slumped over on the floor near the fireplace, a red stain spreading across her dress. "All right, who's the killer?" One guest chuckled nervously. But no one stepped forward. The host remained silent, a slow smile creeping across his face. "Oh, I forgot to mention, the game has begun." A game turned real. Ethan knelt beside the woman, his heart pounding. He reached out and froze. The blood was real. Panic set in. The guests murmured frantically. Someone tried to dial 911, but their phone had no signal. Another rushed to the front door, only to find it locked from the outside. The windows wouldn't budge. Lucas grabbed Ethan's arm. "This isn't part of the game, is it?" Ethan swallowed hard. "I don't think so." The host took a sip from his glass, watching them with unsettling amusement. "Ladies and gentlemen, the rules remain the same. Find the killer, or die trying." The room fell silent. This was no longer a game. The investigation begins. Ethan stood up, slipping into his role as the detective, except this time, the stakes were real. "Nobody leaves this room until we figure out who did this." A man in a grey suit, sweaty and pale, stepped forward. "It has to be one of us. If the doors are locked, nobody else could have done it." A woman, still clutching her wine glass, shook her head. "But who? We were all in this room when it happened. How could anyone kill her without being seen?" Ethan looked at the body again. No weapon. No sign of struggle. Just silence. Then, a chilling thought struck him. The killer planned this. The first clue. As Ethan scanned the room, something caught his eye: a single playing card near the fireplace. The Queen of Hearts. "Was this here before?" he asked, holding it up. The guests exchanged nervous glances. "No," Lucas said. "That wasn't there earlier." A clue. But what did it mean? Then, another scream. They turned just in time to see the man in the grey suit collapse, clutching his throat. His lips turned blue. He gasped for air, then went still. Someone checked his glass. Poison, a woman whispered. Now there were 2 victims. Ethan's hands clenched into fists. The killer was among them. And they weren't done yet. A race against time. The guests began accusing one another. Tensions flared. But Ethan focused on the Queen of Hearts. Why leave a clue? Was the killer playing a twisted game? Then he noticed something else. The butler was gone. Had anyone seen him leave? Before he could say anything, the lights cut out again. A crash. A scuffle. Then silence. When the lights flickered back on, the host lay sprawled across the table, his suit stained with red. The Queen of Spades rested beside him. The truth revealed. Ethan exhaled sharply. The killer is marking their victims with playing cards. First the Queen of Hearts, now the Queen of Spades. What's the pattern? A woman's voice, trembling, spoke up. In poker, those are strong hands. Ethan's mind raced. The killer is leaving a message. But why? Then, he saw it. The guest list. Everyone had been handpicked for this night. And one name stood out. The butler, Ethan muttered. He's the only one who isn't accounted for. Lucas' eyes widened. But why would the butler? Revenge. Ethan turned to the others. The owner of this mansion was murdered years ago. The case was never solved. But what if the killer was here tonight? A slow clap filled the air. They turned. The butler stood in the doorway, a knife in his hand. Very clever, detective, he said with a grin. But are you clever enough to stop me? The final confrontation. The guests backed away as the butler stepped forward, his eyes gleaming with something unhinged. You see, I've been waiting years for justice. And since no one else delivered it, I took matters into my own hands. Ethan kept his voice steady. Who are you avenging? My father. He worked for the mansion's owner. When he discovered the truth about what happened that night, they silenced him. Just like I silenced them. The room tensed. Then, in a sudden movement, Ethan lunged. A struggle. A crash. The knife clattered to the floor. Lucas and another guest grabbed the butler, pinning him down as Ethan caught his breath. The nightmare was over. Epilogue. The authorities arrived at dawn. The butler was arrested. The survivors, shaken but alive, left the mansion behind. As Ethan stepped outside, he turned to Lucas. Next time, let's skip the party. Lucas let out a weak chuckle. Agreed. As they drove away, Ethan glanced at the invitation crumpled in his hand. One night. One game. One winner. And tonight, he had won. The end.